The following is the production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
Touchdown Auburn! Zakoby McClain!
game
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow!
lives. And welcome inside another edition of Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and WEGLFM.com. Hello everybody, it is your beautiful, handsome, dashing, stunning, award-winning, talented host Jared Dillon, and joining me from wherever they may be is Davis Carroll and Jack Hart. Davis, we'll start with you. How are you doing this fine morning?
A little tired, but you did sleep pretty good last night, so it's a good trade-off.
Jack, how about you? How are you doing this morning?
I slept great, Jared. I'm excited for another exciting day of sports. It's half as good as yesterday. We're in for a good one.
You don't sound excited.
Hey, I can't control that. It's okay.
Well, it's going to be an exciting time. We do have a lot of, we have five Major League Baseball games on top of Thursday Night Football. We also have our pick'em segments for both NFL and college football. And as we also scrounge through the Extra Point MLB Playoff Gauntlet, which I do have updated standings on, and we'll get to that when we get to the MLB segment. But first, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to pivot over to the big news, and last night being Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Davis, I know you talked about how we can make changes to our picks after Game 1.
Nope, I'm keeping it.
You said Lakers in a... Did you say Lakers in a sweep or 5?
5.
In 5? Yeah, it's tough. That was a tough loss for the Heat against the Lakers in Game 1. To be quite honest, I was watching Game 1, and halfway through, I stopped watching. Not that I turned it off, but I just stopped paying attention because
Same here.
it was just something hard to watch. The Lakers beat the Heat 116-98, and what was a dominant game from the Lakers, pretty much from halfway through the first quarter, where the Heat were up about 13 to 16 points, and then the Lakers at one point, I believe the Lakers outscored the Heat 75-30 at a certain point in the game after the Heat went up on that initial lead, and the Lakers never looked back. So let's start with Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Lakers, Heat. Davis, go ahead and take it away. I mean, how else would you describe what happened last night?
Well, I mean, Goran Dragic did tear his plantar fascia, so he's out for the series. Bam went out for a little bit. Jimmy, did he get hurt? I think
He did.
he got hurt. So, I mean, when your main player is going to be Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Jay Crowder, and Duncan Robinson, you kind of expect to get beat by 18 points in the finals. So, I mean, if they can get Jimmy and Bam back at least, I know Goran Dragic's not going to be back, and he's one of their main players, but at least they can get Jimmy and Bam back, they can at least probably get one game, maybe two. No, one game.
One game? That's the cap on him?
I mean, like, I think Goran Dragic really... I mean, Jimmy said, looks like he's ready, but I don't think that they can really do all that much. But I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, it was a tough outing for the Heat. A stat that jumps out to me is, good lord, Tyler Hero's plus minus was down in the literal basement at negative 35. It was not good for Tyler Hero coming off the bench for the Heat. He did have 14 points. Jimmy Butler did lead the way with 23, even though he did leave with an injury. But over on the Lakers side, I mean, you already know who the two guys I'm about to talk about are. LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, 34 points, 9 rebounds. LeBron, 25 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, and then you got your boy Caruso dropping 10 points. Obviously, best player on the team. Not much you can do. Jack, what did you take away from Game 1 of the NBA Finals?
It's just very unfortunate to see the injuries piling up on Miami's side and not being matched on the side of the Lakers. It makes an already tough challenge for the Heat to dethrone the presumptive champions even harder. And without the ability to spread the ball around, and without the ability, especially I think Dragic is the most tragic loss of them all. Looks like he's going to be out for the entire series. Not 100% sure yet, but even if they can I mean, by the time he gets back, it might already be a sweep. So the very unfortunate loss for the Heat there, because the Heat's offense really relies on scoring in a versatile fashion, and without Dragic there, your options are limited.
Now, I will say that right now, Game 2, which is slated for 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Lakers open up as 7.5-point favorites. As we get closer and closer to that tip, and we learn the status of a lot of the players, such as Adebayo, Butler, and Dragic, who we pretty much know is not going to play next game at least, right? That probably will fluctuate a good bit. So put you guys on the spot. I want you to finish this sentence. The Miami Heat can still win the series if blank.
They play perfect.
If the injury report reflects the other side.
If Kelly Olynyk is not guarding Anthony Davis.
Who does guard Anthony Davis at this point?
It'd be Bam. I mean, but he's out. So, I mean, Kelly Olynyk is the only, that's it for him. Or Myers Leonard. So, I mean, that's not going to do it for you. I know Bam's hurt, so I'm not blaming it on Eric Spoelstra or anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do at this point. Thankfully, and correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't seen that many injuries inside the bubble. The notable ones have been Dame, who got hurt. Obviously, what happened last night with the Heat. And I believe, I want to say, somebody else got hurt. But it's been relatively smooth. So I was surprised when it just seemed like the dominoes just fell over for the Miami Heat in that game, and just the worst possible outcome in Game 1 that you could think of for the Heat happened after they played so well.
Did the Lakers pull a curse on them?
The LeBron James
Some
had
voodoo dolls?
LeBron James had something in his back pocket, voodoo doll something. He must have gotten a hair from Jimmy Butler's pillow from his bed or something, and he was just playing with it on the sideline, because there's no way that happens without a little bit of something in the air. But the Lakers win. I know, Davis, you said Lakers in 5. You're not going to change that. You think that he can get at least one, even after last night and all the injuries?
The Heat are not
Or the Heat gonna get
bad
one?
enough to get swept.
Yeah.
They're still a good team.
I said Lakers in 6. That was being more on the safe side.
Would you like to change yours, Jared?
I mean, I can stick with mine and be perfectly fine.
Just change the number of the games. Lakers, you're still sticking with the Lakers.
Well, I kind of want to say Lakers in a sweep, but I feel like that's disrespectful to the Miami Heat and what they've done so far.
How many Heat fans do we have on the show?
For real, or like in their heart?
For real.
None.
That's then.
I don't know if I ever met an actual Miami Heat fan.
I've met some.
You know, I feel like it's disrespectful to say Lakers in a sweep, but golly, I just don't know if they are able to overcome what they're facing right now. It would be a miraculous upset of epic proportions. Look, I finally found Alex. He's finally here, so let's get him in here and then make fun of him. So yeah, the Heat facing a uphill battle.
Great job, Alex.
Great job, Alex.
Really
Alex,
dropped the ball.
My bad, y'all.
Before I say anything, I want you to finish this sentence, okay?
What's up?
The Heat can still win the NBA Finals
If Anthony Davis gets injured,
oh, like what Jack says. So yeah,
what did Jack say?
if the
That's
injury
the
report matches.
Nice. I
So
mean, it's just like the Heat. They matched up relatively well with the other teams in the East, and the Bucks got hurt. But now with this, it's very much just a terrible matchup from top to bottom.
it's tough. You hate to see it, but there's always game two. There's still 6 games to go, and no matter how you look at it, each game starts 0-0. So what you gonna do? You gotta play from there.
The question is, when the Lakers win the championship, will the extra point crew become like every other sports talk show on the planet and start talking about the LeBron James GOAT debate?
No.
No?
The
Just
GOAT
a question.
debate? You mean like is he better than Michael Jordan?
Yeah, because I mean, heck, ESPN's already talking about it before a game even started. So
I mean, I feel like we've already had that discussion before on the show anyway.
I don't recall ever having a discussion actually.
Well, on the first day of October, October 1st of 2020 will not be that day. I'll go ahead and say that at least. We
Works for
can
me.
we can hold that for a different time. Let's jump from the NBA Finals to the MLB postseason. Jack, the Braves had the first game, and it felt like they were the last game to end after 5 grueling hours of watching the Braves bend don't break pitching matchups. The Braves finally walked off with a Freddie Freeman walk-off single as they take down the Reds in Game 1. Just take me through what you saw, what you liked and did not like from the Atlanta Braves.
Well, you saw two unbelievable performances from your starters. You had Max Fried for the Braves perform very well, I'd say. I mean, shutout innings, you can't do any better. So he got the majority of the way through the 9 innings he was go, going to play for. And but I would be remiss if I did not bring up the outstanding performance of Trevor Bauer for the Cincinnati Reds, who had a unreal strikeout count. I think close to 11 or 12, including 4 straight at one point. He was setting down batters in order and not let after Freddie Freeman hit a would be double, maybe even triple to the wall in the first inning. That was grabbed on the fly, heads up play by the Cincinnati outfielder to prevent a runner in scoring position there. But after that, Trevor Bauer settled in, locked down, and completely shut down the Braves for pretty much his entire start. He went 7 scoreless. I believe he only allowed 2 hits. So that was the starting pitchers, and then the bullpen started. The bullpens rolled out. Everyone rolled out their best. Braves even sent out their closer, Mark Melankin, to try to put a lid on things for Cincinnati. I think at one point Cincinnati had in extras. Cincinnati had the base floated twice, and the Braves were able to escape the jam both times. Cincinnati ended up being 1 for 12 in scoring position, or with runners in scoring position. So a lot of opportunities squandered. I'm sure the Braves were right there behind them because they were both scoreless. That was the first ever playoff game to remain scoreless after 12 innings. So history made in Atlanta. Also history made, and that is the most strikeouts ever recorded in a game with, I believe, 34. The Braves with 21 of those. So Trevor Bauer and then Iglesias, the reliever on top of him, really set the Braves down. Had him swinging for the fences and fanning every single time with an incredible drop on both their breaking ball and their fastball. And then on top of that, you had just the idea that, I mean, that's a game where the longer it goes on, just the more likely it becomes certain that the home team's going to win because they can pull out the stops in the bottom of the inning to try to play for a walk-off, whereas Cincinnati was trying to play another inning after inning after inning, and it wasn't until the Braves finally sold out at the end, pinch running Charlie Culberson to get a walk off. And Freddie Freeman, known for his making the defense stand on their heads to stop him, he has a patented shift that the defense likes to roll out against him. The Reds pulled out something I have not seen in a very long time, which was bringing in 5 infielders. So they were playing for a grounder, and then the 2 outfielders were playing very extremely shallow. So a blooper, a home run, sac fly. There was only 1 out, so Freddie had a lot of options, but he ended up pretty much hitting just a line drive to center field. Nothing the Reds could do about that one. But putting 5 infielders in to try to go for the double play was the smart move, and they did everything in their power. It's just their pitchers ran out of gas first. But you have to wonder what that does for today's game. Who's going to be limited? Who's going to have a weak arm? And who and is the offense going to wake up now that the aces aren't in the phone?
I got nothing else on the Braves game. That was pretty much everything in a nutshell. Good job, Jack.
Yes, Alex.
This is not about the Braves game necessarily. However, I want to ask the general group here, why did nobody tell me that the Twins were garbage?
You should have knew that. There's a reason why. Hold on. There's a reason why. Didn't everybody in our pick'em pick against
Except you and Davis.
I thought I picked the Astros to
I
win.
didn't pick the Twins.
Oh, wait. Everybody in our group picked the Twins. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, only you and Davis picked them.
Ba-boom. Who's looking smart now, boys?
So, yeah, the Twins are so bad that the Twins got eliminated before 4 teams even started playing.
What is it? They've lost 19 straight postseason games?
18.
18 straight, my bad.
Dating back to 2004. So, maybe next year.
Is
Like,
that
It's one. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead. I can close the door because my cat opened it.
Is that one of the worst streaks in sports history? It feels like it is.
It is.
That's the worst streak in baseball. I'm sure it's up there with other sports.
I mean, because just the implications of it. You know, it's not like losing 18 straight regular season games. It's getting swept in the playoffs like how many times?
It's the implication that you've made the playoffs maybe 9 times since 2004 and not even taken a game.
Yeah.
It's filthy.
Yeah, I mean it really is. Like when Appeal posted that, I was in shock because I mean I knew the Twins were not historically a great team lately, but I still didn't think it would be that. And then I saw it posted after their first loss, and I was like, "Oh, we're in trouble here."
Yeah, I believe it's 18 straight games since 2004. I mean, put this in perspective. I know the Braves have not won a series since 2001, but they've won
their first game 1 win since 2001 as well. So
yeah, but the Braves have won playoff games. They just can't get out the series. The Twins have not literally won a playoff game since 2004. That is how. And ESPN had a graphic where it said the last time the Twins had an 18-game losing streak was in the regular season. It was in 1959, and they weren't even in Minnesota yet. That's how long ago that was.
Where'd they used to play?
Washington, I believe. I believe they were in Washington. See where the Twins were in 1959. I don't want to look that up right now. But that is how bad the Twins are in the postseason.
I mean, that's.
I'm pretty sure they were the Washington Senators at that point.
There you go. But the Twins are notoriously bad. I believe it is the current longest postseason losing streak in all 4 major sports.
Sad.
It is.
You are correct. They were the Washington Senators, and yeah, I mean,
There you go.
It's just.
Oh, it's sad.
I just can't find the words to really describe it because I've never seen anything quite like it. Like that losing streak in the postseason.
They've been a good team a number of years. They
were good this year.
They were good last year too. They set the record for most home runs hit in a season, and then they got swept out of the playoffs by the Yankees.
And not only that, but they set a record of their own. they allowed the Astros to be the first team under 500 to win not only a game but a series. The only other team to do that was the Royals, who I believe were 50 and 53 in the strike shortened season, and they got swept. This is the first team ever with an under 500 record to even do anything in the playoffs, and the Twins can't even win a game against them.
I need to ask one more important question about it. So, it being baseball, we need to make the next logical step. Is there some sort of event that happened that would have caused this curse? Because,
What happened in 2004?
that's what I'm saying. Like, did something happen in Minnesota?
I don't know.
I'm looking into
See, because, at this point, this really seems like impossible without some sort of mythical curse. Just like the Cubs, 108-year drought, the Red Sox 87-year drought, like all that stuff. All that stuff happened because of one event. Like, this seems too consistently, like, because
That's some
again,
bad voodoo.
they set the record for home runs in a season just to get swept. Really, that seems ridiculous to me.
the T-Wolves won the division. That's pretty tragic.
Okay, yeah, that probably did it right there, to be quite
Wait,
honest.
what?
The Timberwolves won their division.
Is that the last time they won the division?
God, I hope so.
I don't know.
NBA Midwest.
We'll get the boys back in the lab to take a look at that and see what's crack-a-lacking back in 2004. The only thing I can tell you happened in 2004 is that there was a presidential election. That's pretty much it.
Oh, wait.
Other than that-
You're very
I got
insightful.
an article, guys. The curse of David Ortiz. Hold up.
Excuse
let me-
me? David Ortiz calls this?
They have not won a postseason series since they released David Ortiz in 2002. I don't know how. Well, hold on. Maybe is there some circumstance under that? Let's see.
Well, I'll let you dive into
Ortiz.
that. Some other games that happened yesterday. The Marlins, they have some postseason voodoo magic on their side when they're a wild card team, and the Cubs found that out the hard way when the Marlins put up 5 en route to a 5-1 victory. On top of that, the Athletics showing up the White Sox 5-3 as well. Excuse me, the Marlins game was 5-1. Athletics 5-3. The Rays are advancing after they sweep the Blue Jays 8-2. The Yankees in a close one last night,
Very
winning
close one.
10-9 against the Indians. They get a sweep on the Indians. Dodgers taking game 1 against the Brewers 4-2. And the Cardinals getting a 7-4 win over the Padres yesterday. And that is what happened in baseball yesterday. Taking a look at the extra point playoff gauntlet, where we chose who won and how many games. Each one giving a single point to whoever got it right. There's currently a 3-way tie for first between myself, Davis, and Carter at 4 points apiece. A 3-way tie at 4th place between Alex, Bay, and Jacob. Jack, you are in 7th place with 2 points, but there's always time to come back.
That's okay.
So we'll see what happens there in the extra point
Wait, do we get a point
bracket
for the team we get, or the amount of games, or both?
for both. So even if you got the team wrong, if you got the amount of games right, you still got at least a point out of that.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Yankees game was the longest 9-inning game in MLB history by virtue of a rain delay.
Nice.
Yeah, that rain delay was stupid, by the way.
4 hours and 50 minutes. I came
Wait,
home last night and I said, I checked this game an hour ago and it was in the 6th, and now it's only in the 7th. I watched it. It was a thrilling conclusion. The Indians had the tying run on second to end the game, and then they had a 2-run double in the 8th to tie it up. So I mean, it was a very exciting game, but it was so late to the point where the game ended. I flipped over to the Brewers game, and about 5 minutes later, that one ended too. A game that had started, I think, 2.5 hours after the first one.
Yeah, I know the first rain delay that happened in the first inning was stupid because I think they ended up calling the game for rain for like 40 minutes, but then it never rained, and then they came back out and then it started raining again.
That's tough.
There was also a high wind advisory, which meant the balls were absolutely sailing out of the park.
Heck yeah, that's how we do it. That's called natural juicing. Davis?
I have a breaking news for the NFL, but I can wait if you'd like.
For the NFL or this is XFL? Because I was going to hold off on that until we got
NFL.
through. Okay.
Dang, I thought. All right, this is interesting.
What's going on in the NFL, Davis?
Titans and Steelers game is being rescheduled for later this season because 2 more Titans players tested positive.
Take them off the pick 'em. Well,
Already picked the Steelers.
well, there you go. Breaking news.
This is how it starts.
Well, hopefully they'll find something. They'll find a date that works for both teams. I guess for Big Ben, he gets a week off for rest, so there's that. He got that going for him.
The thing is that I mean the teams don't have the same bye week, so one of the teams is going to have to make a sacrifice because playoffs start very shortly after the season ends. In the NFL, there's not much of a break, especially for the wild card round.
They got to have some sort of fail safe in place that will allow this game to happen.
We're talking about here. Let's think about that.
It's gonna mess up my fantasy team. Is what's gonna do.
Oh, don't even think about fantasy right now. Whoever has Juju Smith-Schuster,
I have Derrick Henry in one of my leagues.
Wow.
The going back to losing streaks in the playoffs, the only thing comparable I can find is that the Cincinnati Bengals, dating back to 1990, have lost all 8 of their playoff appearances. In 1990, 2005, 2009, and then 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, they infamously lost 5 straight wildcard games.
Yeah. I believe that the 4 horsemen of just bad playoff scenarios are the Twins, the Bengals. In the NBA, I think it's the
Timberwolves or the Kings.
I couldn't even tell you when the last time the
Not
Kings.
the Hornets.
It is the Hornets.
The Hornets made it in 2014 or 2015.
No, Davis. That's the point. The point is making it and then just failing in the playoffs.
I think
the Bengals have made the playoffs. They failed.
For the Hornets, it's been 39 years since they've gotten to a championship. I believe. I believe they were in the ABA or something like that. Something crazy stat like that with the Hornets. And in hockey, that's not even my round. That's not even my wheelhouse. So I couldn't tell you what's going on in the hockey.
Yeah.
But all I know is one thing. Guess who doesn't have the Stanley Cup? Canada. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wow.
What?
The longest series loss streak in the NBA is the Charlotte Hornets, who lost 4 straight, 2002, 2010, 2014, 2016.
That's just sad.
So I guess they were the Bobcats for some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Because there was that one where it was in the playoffs and then LeBron dunked it and stared down Michael Jordan, and everyone was like,
And then Michael Jordan was like, "God's got to change your name after that because we can't keep doing this."
well, it was even weirder because apparently they only changed their name from Hornets to Bobcats because the owner's name was Bob. Which I think that goes down as the worst name change in the history of sports.
I mean, that seems like a Charlotte thing to do. I'm not gonna lie. So,
Yeah.
are Bobcats even native to Charlotte, North Carolina?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
They have like
Yeah.
mountains and hills up there.
I mean, yeah,
but
but
do they have Bobcats?
I was about to say,
Davis, hit up Wikipedia and tell me what's up with
I got it.
Bobcats.
I got it. Get
Yeah,
out of my
Davis, I
face,
got it.
boy.
Then in the NHL, your longest making it without winning streak is the Florida Panthers.
Oh, no.
So in 96, 99, 2011, 2015, where they were a 1 seed and got swept by the Islanders, and 2019. So I think going back, it was 5 for the NHL, 4 for NBA, 8 for NFL dating back to 1990. But this is 18 dating back. I mean, those were series losses too. I mean, there's nothing like this win stat.
I got it right here.
What is it? What's up?
Davis.
They're rare in the Charlotte area, but they do turn up. Unlike foxes and deer, bobcats are generally afraid of people, Medford said. But they will thrive in areas around Mecklenburg County that offer good, thick brush as a habitat. So they are in Charlotte. This is from an article about a bobcat, bears, and gators walking around Charlotte, just chilling around.
So I absolutely goofed once again because These Bobcats that are Hornets didn't used to be the Hornets because the old Hornets moved to New Orleans and are now the Pelicans.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Because like the Ravens are technically the Browns and the Browns are just the new Browns. It's the same thing.
I'm,
Yes, that's true.
Same principle applies. Like the Hornets are really, or the Pelicans are technically the Hornets of the past, while the Hornets are just the Bobcats.
didn't the Colts do that sometime? Or am I going?
The-
The Colts are from Baltimore
They
and
did.
Indianapolis.
The Colts packed up the Mayflower bus and said, "We getting the hell out of here," and left in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that was a very good 30 for 30.
They also, Jared, this is something I didn't know. I know you referenced that a lot, but something I did not know about that is that the 53 Mayflower trucks they used to cross the country took 53 different routes to avoid being stopped by the Border Patrol.
Like, I want you guys to look into that story one day and just see how
my.
I'll send you
crazy,
guys a link.
how crazy that is,
Why did
and
they
what
hate
happened that
Baltimore
night,
so much?
huh?
Why were they so why were they so quick to leave Baltimore in like the middle of the night and so discreetly? Were they just
It,
paranoid?
it pretty much was a mixture of they wanted to move to a new city on top of, if the public knew that they were going to do that, they were going to do everything they could to stop them, right? And that if you go ahead, pick up and move, and you're already in Indy, by the time they find out, what are they going to do? Go up there and drag you back? No.
Oh my.
Imagine you're like, I'm so ready to go to the practice facility and watch my favorite players play, and then it's
It's
just
empty.
It's just abandoned.
desolate.
So that one and I'm gonna put this link and I'll watch it later. But that one and I think the one where the Browns left is so great because the Browns just casually have Bill Belichick and you're like, wait a minute, what? And then even then they also still technically won a Super Bowl afterwards. So it all
They
ended
won
up-
two. They left and immediately won 2 Super Bowls.
Not immediately.
Well, they won in '99 or '01.
No, they didn't.
The Browns?
The
Yeah, I
Ravens.
think. Oh, the Ravens.
No, they only had that one against the Giants. They won again in like 2010 or 2011.
But yeah, they won in 2001.
Yeah.
2013.
So back to the original discussion. MLB playoff games today. First game up is in a couple of hours, where the Braves look to end the Reds at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, as the Braves try to just do what they can do with Ian Anderson's on the mound for the Braves. I don't know anything about him, so hopefully he'll put out a good outing for the Braves. Marlins Cubs, that's at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central. Following that is White Sox Athletics at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. The Cardinals got pushed back. They're supposed to be at 5 o'clock Eastern. They're now 7 Eastern, thankfully. And the Dodgers Brewers are at 10 Eastern on the West Coast. So it's going to be a fun time in Major League Baseball as we look to see a lot of these series wrapped up. Every one of these series can end today. I think that's the crazy part of baseball right now, is that they can all end right now. And here's hoping the Cardinals can pull it off, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought we were going to get swept. I even picked the Padres to sweep, but I'll be pretty happy if the Cardinals can pull out a victory today. So, here's hoping, right?
And
What?
that'll just mess up everything.
Why?
Because I picked the Padres to, make a certain level of distance in the playoffs. And if the Cardinals, the 30-28 Cardinals, manage to screw this up, oh my gosh.
Heck yeah. If you want to know, playoff history, Alex, know that the Padres are 0-3 in their history against the Cardinals in the playoffs.
Oh my. 0-3 like in series or 0-3 in game?
Series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I was wondering. Oh dear. I don't like that. So
Well,
wait a minute. The Padres are playing the Cardinals?
yes, Alex. The Padres are playing the Cardinals. That's what we're talking about.
No, I know. I'm just looking at the seating right now. Why wouldn't they be playing the Reds?
Who?
The Padres. Wouldn't it be 1-8, 2-7, and so on? Isn't that how that works?
No, they did divisions.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird. Never mind then.
You imbecile.
I'm sorry. The new playoff format is confusing already. Now that just is a whole other wrinkle to it. That's my bad though.
Well, yeah, there is that one wrinkle of now the Astros, they get to play at home, pretty much, or are the home team, even though they're a 7th seed. they don't reseed after the first round, which
Yeah.
neither here nor there. But
Well, yeah, no one gets to play at home because it's in San Diego, but
yeah,
they are batting last.
yeah. So we'll see what happens in Major League Baseball. Let's go into some other big news that's happening around the world of sports. This morning, being posted, because we actually ironically talked about it yesterday, but the XFL is back, not next spring, but in 2022. So they're gonna try to get back to playing in a couple of years. So spring football will be back. We just gotta hold on for it, okay? So we can get ready for the Battlehawks again and cheer them on. And hopefully, I don't know, will there be more teams? Will there be less teams? I'm interested to see what happens when they try to come back.
Will
I
my
just
great
don't.
idea of them reviving the AAF come true?
I hope so. If the XFL is one conference and the AAF is another conference, that's just
That'd be poetry.
it really would be. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Do they own the assets to the AAF?
I think I remember that a story coming up, but I don't. That gets into a lot of legal jargon that I like watching sports. So.
Yeah. Alex,
I
you
just
were going to say
don't
something?
understand what exactly went wrong last time. To
Corona?
me. Like it seemed like they were making money at a decent level.
Corona?
But most companies
Okay, yeah,
usually
that's. I guess I
work
forget
on
about
work on a deficit for like the first few years. I'm sure XFL's similar.
Well, yeah, but so was their plan just to, like once COVID comes out, they realize they can't even finish this season. They're like, all right, well, we're never going to make our money back. So,
Yeah. I mean, like,
Probably,
wasn't
yeah.
wasn't McMahon like kind of bolstering up the teams in some way anyway with his money?
yeah, he used all of his own money, which he doesn't have that much. But
You got to pump a lot of money into this stuff.
What?
You got to pump a lot of money into these enterprises in the first couple of years.
That's true.
It'll
And
trickle down, I swear.
and and when somebody pulls the plug, I mean that's just you don't have any money to work with. That's what happened with the AAF. That's what happened with XFL. And hopefully, you find a group of owners that won't give up, that will pump in a lot of money into it, and the number one grossing actor in Hollywood hopefully has enough money to help at least keep this league afloat. I mean, this is the same actor who I saw on Reddit the other day tore off the gated barrier to his house because he was running late.
Yeah.
So
What if like he made a deal with some NFL owners to like own the XFL teams so they could have like a pipeline for potential prospects?
I was going to say, I think that's something like that they may have to do because, the WNBA, the only reason it's still afloat right now is because the NBA subsidizes it and essentially just funds part of it. And
Hey, they're growing though. They're growing. They're almost there.
that
WNBA finals start tomorrow.
I mean, on a technicality, they are in fact not. But anyway,
Well, they're getting bigger because I mean more people are watching the WNBA. That's what I'm saying.
I don't have numbers to back that up, but I'm gonna.
I
hope
mean,
that
their
that's true.
attendance at the start was 10,000. Now they're averaging 7,000. So I'm not sure what that.
I mean, it is Corona.
To be fair, everybody's averaging 0 right now, except
No,
for
Davis, I meant their attendance in the start of the league versus the last active year. But anyway, I'm just saying that I think that is going to be a reality as well because again, you're starting a whole new league that nobody has any real investment in, the XFL, and I mean, you're already going to be clawing for fans anyway because a lot of the casual viewers are not going to want to pay attention to two leagues. So you lose out on that because the NFL is going to keep those. So you're trying to, get the hardcore fans to pay attention, which you'll get it. But again, you won't make nearly as much money as your operating costs might be. So I think they may need the NFL to step in some variety. And I think NFL owners would certainly be willing to own it. I mean,
I don't know. I
the
don't trust
Washington
NFL
football team
owners.
is the 10th most valuable sports franchise on the planet for no reason other than because they have money, apparently. So, I mean,
Yeah.
they've got money to spare. Most of the NFL definitely has money to spare.
They have money to tear down all those trees just so they can get a good view.
Yes,
Screw
Jared,
'em.
I know that happened.
They're like Scrooge McDuck with the amount of money they have.
Washington can go
It's comical.
Guys,
do
it
something
was
stupid.
not anything other than a point just to be made. That
You
the
should have
NFL
brought them up knowing that I was gonna come out full SEAL Team 6 on them.
I think maybe you think the football team uses the national treasuries to get their money.
Probably. They probably steal from them.
Is that where my tax dollars are going, Alex?
I hope not.
Davis, you don't pay taxes.
Okay, when the FBI knocks on the door, don't say anything. You're about to get them raided. Is there any other big news in sports before we move on to pick'em and college football in general? Really, what dominated the news yesterday was MLB playoffs and NBA playoffs, and
Yeah.
we already went through that. I can tell you that the college football playoff rankings, the first rankings will be pushed back to November 24th. So Thanksgiving, pretty much. So it's going to be a while before... It's going to be a while and a quick turnaround before we figure out who the top 4 teams are. And I guess we could talk about how they struck down an 18 playoff bracket. But Alex first.
This has nothing to do with sports, but I find it funny. Can I share?
No.
Is there any way for this to backfire on you in any way?
I mean, not technically.
All right. Well, I'll find a way. Go ahead.
Apparently the Ireland Supreme Court has ruled that Subway bread is in fact not bread.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Did that just jostle your jollies this morning or something like that?
Wait, what, Alex? I wasn't
That's
listening.
funny. I don't know.
He said that the Ireland Supreme Court
The
ruled
Ireland
this
Supreme Court has ruled that Subway bread is in fact not bread.
because apparently it has too much sugar in it.
Yes, indeed.
That's fair.
It's
That's
also
like
not.
a donut then.
They also false advertising. That ain't a foot long. Okay, it's an inch short.
True.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Alright.
Let the people know. This is what the people need to know in 2020.
I mean, I don't really like Subway that much anyway, so
Wow.
just gonna be
Oh.
honest.
It is the best sub place.
What?
Davis, I
Whoa.
promise you. Whoa, no. Davis, I promise you. If you say Firehouse Subs, I will strangle you
No.
right now. Okay. good.
Jimmy John's better. Lenny's is better. There's a place in Mobile.
I don't know
called,
what Lenny's is.
Lenny's is the
is
local place
so
in
good.
Mobile.
Oh, is it? I thought it was a national chain.
Yeah, townie.
Oh,
Even I knew that.
Firehouse is better. I don't even like Firehouse that much.
Did you say Firehouse is better than Subway?
Yes. I don't even like Firehouse
That
much.
just invalidated every sports take you've ever had in your life. Like, you said that, and my cat walked in because it just heard the BS that you just started spilling.
She's leaving now.
And she's going,
Going
in
out the window. Jimmy John's is my favorite personally, but Lenny's, I guess that's since it's not national, I won't name it. Mama
Guys,
Goldberg's is better
Jimmy John's
than
ain't even that
Subway.
good, bro. If I want to eat cardboard, I'll just go to the local Walmart dumpster and eat out of that.
Are you talking about Subway?
Yes.
Talking about cardboard. Out of my face with that.
What? Explain
Like
to
you
me.
take a bite and it's just nothing in your mouth. It
What you
feels
talking
like chewing
about?
cotton.
No, it's not. I've chewed cotton before. I've chewed on this jacket. It is not.
Davis gets to like a lettuce sandwich at Subway and then like, oh man, this is tasteless. Like, bro.
The
No.
Italian herb and cheese bread at Subway. Amazing.
Yawn. Jimmy
Okay,
Okay,
John's
so
where it's
now
at.
that I've gotten us off the topic of sports, I have something to bring us back. Can
No,
you?
Jimmy John's is better bread,
I need to-
better meat,
no,
better
I need-
cheese, better mayonnaise,
No,
better drinks,
You shut
better
up.
cookies, better chips.
Okay, now I know you're just playing around. I need to know what Jack thinks.
I've heard of Lenny's. There's one in Destin.
Really good.
I like Firehouse.
I can't look
Where
at y'all
does
the same way
Subway
again.
rank on your ranking though?
Pretty much the middle. It's like the baseline.
That's fair.
It's what you compare,
I feel like
what you compare everything else to. I like
If
some of
I'm
Subway's specialty sandwiches, like when they get the thick cut turkey in November. I like to get that.
A sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Boom.
if I'm starving and I have nowhere other sub place to go, I'll go to Subway.
If I was starving and all I had was Firehouse, I'd starve to death.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna disagree with you because I don't think Firehouse is that good.
Okay. That's. I guess that's the hill I'm dying on. Alex, bring us back to sports.
All right, so this is back on baseball. I know we kind of left for a second, but it's something I remembered. And I wanted to share with the class a bit. So after the Astros defeated the Twins, um, I believe it was Carlos Correa says, "I know a lot of people are mad. I know a lot of people don't see us here, but what are they going to say now?" Question mark. And my only point, and the point of pretty much everyone on the planet that saw this quote, is that them winning a series against the Twins does not disprove the fact that they are still cheaters.
I mean, yeah, no, you're right.
So I'm very confused. Then again, this is the same organization that handled their whole cheating scandal, quite possibly the worst in the history of sports, with, players just downright contradicting each other the entire time. 37 stories about Jose Altuve's tattoo. Was it a tattoo? Was it world art? Was he fat? Nobody really knows at this point. But so the fact that he came out and said this pretty much correlates, but I still think it's a little ridiculous because, again,
Who do the Astros get in the next round?
I don't remember.
Do they get the winner of Athletics White Sox? I'm not
The
looking at the bracket.
Astros, yes, because the Yankees will be playing the Rays.
Gotcha. Right. So they get the winner of Athletics White Sox, and I hope either one of those teams just absolutely backhands them. Because if I have to deal with the Astros in a championship series game, all right, I'm not gonna be able to handle it.
I mean, it's just that just doesn't make any sense to me because the thing is that you don't say that unless there's two things going on. You say that if you're just trying to antagonize people, which I feel like the Astros kind of stopped doing that after a while.
Like,
you also only say it if you genuinely believe it, and it doesn't make any sense to think that.
Imagine if a defending champion beat a team that hasn't won a playoff game in years and said, "You don't think we're supposed to be here, but here we are." Just think if the Patriots walked up and beat on the Bengals, and Bill Belichick is like, "You know what? You didn't think we're supposed to be here, but here we are."
Exactly.
Like, Belichick, get out of here. You were supposed to beat the Bengals.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I mean, the Astros are going to spend the next 5 years just, being probably the most hated team in baseball.
Well, I'm sure somebody else will do something stupid, and then we'll start hating them.
That's true. I mean, it doesn't take much for people to hate the Yankees, so give them time, I suppose.
But I'll tell you, the Yankees will be given the red carpet if they have to go up against the Astros and just beat them in 4 games in a championship series.
Absolutely. I think whoever beats the Astros will get, universal acclaim at this point.
Whoever beats the Astros is a World Series champions in my heart. Are we ready to go on to NFL Pick'em?
Sure, why not?
First, let's start with some NFL news. Obviously, breaking news, Steelers and Titans are not playing this week. So, I guess we'll skip that game and pick them. You don't have to pick it. The Ravens did give Humphrey a $98.75 million deal. That did come through about an hour ago, but I didn't want to get to it until we got to the NFL. And I will say this, is that the NFL is really cracking down on these sideline mask warnings. They are now telling teams that if they do not follow procedure for game day protocols, they'll be threatening suspensions and forfeiture of draft picks.
Oh?
That's the way to do it, because Pete Carroll don't care about money.
He don't.
That is true. He does not.
And I mean, the NFL, and I'll say this, because the Titans-Steelers game is a perfect example of it. You're messing with money when you don't follow rules, right? And I know we do all this rapid testing, but you got to do whatever you can to make sure everybody's safe, right? And they're trying to make sure of that. If a game gets canceled because of recklessness, you're messing. The one thing that makes the world go round is money. If you ever mess with somebody's money, you best believe that is the fastest they'll ever act in the history of their lives. You know what I'm saying? If an orphanage is burning down, yeah, you know what? They're going to try to put it out. But if an orphanage is burning down with $1 million in it, you better bet they will throw everything in the kitchen sink at it to make sure they can get that money. I truly do believe that. Okay? So when you mess with money, they'll come after you. That's what NFL is doing right now. So, are we ready for Pick'em now?
Do it.
All right, let
Ready
me
to
get
go
it.
undefeated this week.
Let me get it teed up. Let's go through the NFL Pick'em standings from last week. It was decent, I guess. Uh, Poor Jacob. He was the only person to go under 500. He was 7-8. Alex was 10. Alex was 10-5. Bay 11-4. Davis 12-3. Me and Jack were also 10-5. The current standings: Alex at 35-12. Davis and Bay are tied at second, 2 games back at 33-14. I'm in fourth place at 31-16. Jack is 1 game behind me at 30-17. Jacob is at 27-20 in sixth place. So we're all kind of bungled up next to each other, and we'll see what happens as we get ready for Pick'em today. So let's go ahead, get on the docket. I got my document pulled up. Typing in my name. Here we go. First game tonight. Thursday Night Football. Broncos, Jets. And don't look now. Don't look now. But Vegas is favoring the Jets.
I mean, I would maybe favor the Jets too, but then you look at the Jets and they have just played very poorly every single week. And I mean, admittedly, I think, the Broncos have had, last week wasn't a close game, but, they played the Steelers close. They played the Titans close. I don't see how the Jets I don't see how the Jets get out of their own way in this one.
I mean, I think it's more dealing with who's that quarterback for the Broncos.
Who is a quarterback for the Broncos?
That's a great question, Alex. Who is the quarterback for the Broncos tonight?
Brian Eagler?
No.
I can't remember who it is.
He's from Boise State.
Jeff Driscoll.
No, it's
No.
not Jeff Driscoll. He got benched.
Brett Ripon.
Heck
Yes.
yeah, it is.
Ripon from Boise State.
Oh, wait, no, you mean Ripon?
I don't care.
Yeah, we
Because
don't
that's Mark
Hey,
Rippon's
What happens to a banana when you leave it on your counter for 3 days, Alex?
Oh my
My
god.
cat steals it.
There you go. Letting you know.
Yeah, I'm picking the Broncos then. He was good at Boise State. I'll pick him.
Who's next? I don't know the pick yet.
I'll pick the Broncos. I mean, the Jets are too bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's something going on in Vegas.
Wait.
I'll
Hold
pick
up.
the Broncos.
Theory. So rumor has it Adam Gase lost the locker room. What are the odds that the Jets intentionally lose this game just to get him fired?
He said
Well-
that no matter if they win or lose, not him, but the report came out that he's keeping his job no matter what happens this game.
Well, in that case,
I don't want to believe that. I want to believe the New Jersey article.
How are we going to tell if they intentionally lose? Because they're pretty good at unintentionally losing, too.
That's true,
Yeah.
Jack. I was just saying. It's theory.
There's only one other team good at throwing games. That's the Falcons, and we'll see that on Monday night. Up next, it's the Colts and the Bears. The Bears were one of a few undefeated teams left.
I don't know, man.
Go, Nick Foles.
No.
Yeah, no.
The Bears can only beat the basement teams, Falcons included. So I think the Colts showed what they could do against the Vikings, and I think they'll put up a similar performance this weekend against the Bears. The Bears have a worse offense than the Vikes, so
True.
I look for this one to be ugly, but Colts victory.
In that case, I'm taking a Bears upset. Sorry, Jared.
I mean,
I'm taking the Colts. I don't really care.
I'm picking the Colts because, as Jack said, they've beaten the basement teams. They only beat the Lions by a comeback win. They only beat the Giants by 4. And they only again beat the Falcons by a comeback win. So, the Colts are a good team. So, Colts.
But you forget who's the quarterback now, Alex.
Phillip Rivers? Oh, Nick Foles. Yeah,
who's
but
the
I mean,
quarterback
even Foles
for the Falcons.
Even Foles played bad at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of his time in that game against the Falcons, and he just started playing good at the end.
Mitch Trubisky played bad every single snap of when he was starting, and they still won.
What are you,
Yeah, but
well, okay, hold up, Dennis.
that's
But
for the memes.
like in that game against Detroit, Trubisky played bad in the first half and then played great in the second half, and they won.
but he still played bad in the first half. So I mean, doesn't matter that much. The team's built enough that I think Nick Foles has a chance. You're sleeping on him. You said he had bad, he started bad, but then he came back down 20, so it can't be that bad.
I mean, Davis, we could go out there right now, the extra point all stars, and come back on the Falcons. So I wouldn't put too much,
I mean, yeah, they are the can't finish Falcons for a reason.
Oh, that's just.
I'm just
sad.
saying, don't sleep on the Bears.
I'm sleeping on them because it's time for hibernating season. Jaguars, Bengals. The Bengals have a tie, which I think makes everybody upset.
Yeah.
But the Jags, they got showed up by Miami last time out. Who gets a dub here in a matchup between two teams just looking to find an identity again?
I'm starting Joe Burrow this week in fantasy. Do you know that?
You're picking the Bengals.
Yes, I'm picking the Bengals.
Alex?
Bengals are actually favored despite having no wins, but the Bengals have also shown
Yeah,
that
the Jags carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey last week.
By the
that's true,
Dolphins.
but the Jags have also had a long week. They had a Thursday night game. They've had extra days to prepare. I'll take the Jags in a close one though.
Jack?
Man, this one's tough. I think the Jags are going to win this one. I like their offense on Thursday night. Interesting fact about the tie on the Bengals is that the last 3 quarterbacks picked number 1 in the draft all received a tie before they got their first win. Baker Mayfield did so in 2016, and Kyler Murray did so with the Cardinals a year later.
And then Joe Burrow again. So, whoever gets Trevor Lawrence... Oh my goodness, that's bright. Stupid cat. Whoever picks Trevor Lawrence this upcoming year, be ready for a tie. So, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll pick... I mean, it's tough. I don't want to pick against Joe Burrow, but I'll have to. I'll pick the Jaguars to win, even though I think the Bengals can show up and win on any given day. Here's the fun one. Browns, Cowboys. Cowboys are favored in this game.
Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
think-
unanimous, Dallas?
You got to pick the Cowboys after what happened last week in Seattle. The Cowboys cannot afford to lose this game if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
And I mean, I think they just are holistically a better team again.
You can't drop to 1-3. Well, in that division, you can.
I was going to say, because Washington is going to lose next week, so they could very easily afford
If
a
they
loss.
want the respect of their peers, they won't lose this game.
I think Jerry Jones cares about peers.
He cares about winning, at least. I'm picking the Cowboys in this game.
Yeah.
I'll make it a sweep. Cowboys.
Saints, Lions, in a game where the Saints are not even favored by a touchdown.
I think the Saints are going to win this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be unanimous, right? That we think the Saints are going to win, right? Am I going crazy?
The Lions need 3 Kyler Murray interceptions to win a game by a field goal. So
I was going to say, yeah, that is. I mean, the only reason the Lions do have a win is because of a very poor performance by the Cardinals. Then they got mauled by the Packers and choked against the Bears. So, yeah, Saints.
Davis, you also going with Who Dat Nation?
Yep.
Seahawks, Dolphins. If you want to, if you want to pick an upset, here it is.
I don't want to pick an upset for the record.
Yeah, the Dolphins are going to be upset when they get slapped by the Seahawks.
That's good. I mean, Russell Wilson is on pace for 75 touchdown passes this year. He'll get a good 6 of them against the Dolphins.
DK Metcalf, Dolphins secondary, hold your breath because he's coming for you. Chargers, Bucks, Tom Brady, and that new look Tampa Bay offense getting ready to take on what I assume to be, because I've heard any news about it, Justin Herbert in that offense, because I believe Tyrod's still not ready to come back yet.
Yeah, he's not.
I felt like if any upset was going to happen this week, it could be this, but I think I still chose the Bucks after that.
Same for me.
Sad. I think, yeah, the Bucks are going to win this one.
The Ravens, after they got embarrassed on Monday Night Football, look to exact revenge, and it's against Washington.
Whew.
Alex, I wouldn't watch on Sunday.
Washington is without one of their best defensive linemen and also Chase Young.
Like that would help.
Dwayne Haskins is coming off one of the worst games of his career, if not the worst game of his career. So, yeah, the Ravens are going to win by a good 25 points.
Make it 35.
Do you have the spread in front of you, Jared?
I do not.
They're favored by 13, the Ravens.
Yeah.
I believe that is the largest spread of the week, though.
It's tied with the Rams-Giants.
I'll take the Ravens. I think they're going to cover.
Yeah.
Cardinals Panthers. Kyler Murray taking on Teddy B.
Two gloves.
I'll go ahead and start it off. I really like this Panthers team. I think they can get a lot done. I think they'll go toe to toe with this Panthers team, with this Cardinals team. So I'll take the Panthers. Who, if I did do this correctly, they're at home. So I'll take the Panthers.
They look to be at home according to Google.
I thought you were gonna do a little switcheroo there, Jared.
Nah.
I'm also taking Panthers. Keep pounding.
Panthers by 1 million.
Hey.
Murray threw how many interceptions last week? Panthers got how many interceptions last week? If my math tracks, the Panthers are going to get 6 interceptions this week. So.
It checks out to me.
Yeah.
14 and 2.
Guys.
Teddy 2 glove. 14 and Teddy 2 glove. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, I'm picking the Cardinals.
Coward.
Wait. Well, what did you see that's like, you know what? Nah, I'm picking the Cardinals.
The fact that everybody picked the Panthers, also the fact that, the Panthers' one win is against a dysfunctional Chargers team,
And
they should be 0-3.
you act like the Cardinals weren't dysfunctional last week.
Yeah, they had one bad game, but they had a great game against the 49ers. They played really good against Washington. I'll pick the Cardinals.
Well, next game up is a game of basement dwellers between the Vikings and the Texans.
What's up, Kitty? What's the kitty's name?
Despite being in the basement, the Texans should not be in the basement. I think the Texans should win this one. They're due for a win after coming very close the past 3 weeks.
The cat's name is Gigi, by the way.
Hold up.
Gee.
Like cupcakes.
Yes, like the cupcakes. Alex,
So-
did you just time out me?
No, this is different. Not time on you. So, Jack, just so we're clear here,
Hey, what's up?
the Texans became very close 2 weeks ago when they lost 33-16.
No, they came very close when they nearly beat the Steelers last week.
Yes, okay.
And
I thought you had said. I thought you
Shut
said
him down, Jack. Shut him down.
I just misheard, and that's on me. I just wanted to make sure for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Idiot. You imbecile.
Oh, my neck, guys.
After what I saw the Colts do to the Vikings, making Xavier Rhodes actually look like he deserved that Pro Bowl selection last year, yeah, no, I'm taking the Texans.
Wait, making Xavier what?
Xavier Rhodes made the Pro Bowl last year, even though he shouldn't have because he was terrible last year. He's on the Colts now, and he played really good.
Oh, I thought he was on the Vikings. Oops.
No. Yeah, that's how quickly things
They cut him
change.
because he was so bad.
No, I know he was so garbage. I figured he wouldn't have been on. I just didn't know he was on.
The Colts, where he had a pick six and another interception in the end zone. And then they made him actually look like a Pro Bowler.
This game is so tough because
Alex, it's not tough. Just go ahead and pick Texans.
No, it is because
Peer
the
pressure.
Texans-
Peer pressure.
up.
Pick
Hold up.
Texans.
Hold up, stop 1 second. Can I speak for a second?
Sure.
The Texans are 0-3.
That's a second.
And Kirk Cousins likes himself some 0-3 teams to randomly boost his stats on. So I would know. I watched it. I saw it happen.
Freaking pick your team.
What?
Pick your team.
I picked the Vikings.
Thank you.
All right, when Bay and Davis catch up to you on Pick'em, don't say anything. This is going to be the game that
I'll-
they already caught up on a game.
I also picked the Vikings.
Well,
Ew.
hey!
I picked him just solely because Dalvin Cook had a 181 yards last week, or however many it was.
Did it matter at the end?
I think it will this week because the Texans really that stout on defense.
I don't know, but
They don't have an Xavier Rhodes.
They still lost 36-7 or something like that.
I'm still voting for the Vikings on this one. I'm going. That's my upset of the week.
Ill. Giants, Rams. Can we all just say Rams?
Yes. Also,
Actually, I'm gonna. Yes, Rams.
Yeah.
Okay, skipping that one. Here's a fun one. Patriots, Chiefs. Although I feel like we're all gonna be unanimous on this one too.
Chiefs.
Let's go, Pat.
my mind was changed on this one after the Monday Night Football game. I'd say. I thought the Chiefs' offense had a kink in it, but really doesn't look like that after they kind of dismantled. And their defense looked good too, which is worrying to me. So I think the Chiefs win this one in a close one.
Bills and the Raiders. The Bills trying to stay on top of the AFC. Oh my goodness, my eyes again.
GG.
The Bills trying to stay on top of the AFC East, undefeated. My AFC Championship pick. Can they keep it up against the Raiders? I'm picking the Bills.
Bills.
Absolutely, the Bills can win.
I can't remember who I picked, but I'm gonna say the Bills right now.
Eagles 49ers. A team where everybody is hurt versus a team that, well, a virtual crowd booed its own quarterback.
Who they
Niners.
playing?
What now?
Who they playing?
The Eagles are playing the 49ers.
Oh, 49ers.
Yes.
I'll take Nick Mullins.
Jack?
Yeah, I think the 49ers are going to win. That's the Sunday night game. Tragic.
Wait, is it really?
Yeah, it is.
What on earth?
I mean, on paper, going into the season, it wasn't that bad. Then it got bad.
I mean, but like, but even then, on paper, New England and Kansas City is better to me.
You need those afternoon games, you know?
And Kansas
really
City already
don't.
had Monday night the other night.
Yeah, they already had prime time.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But even then, like, that's just awful.
Well, if you want to see awful, let's take a look at Monday Night Football.
Oh, Monday Night Football is going to be fun when the Packers drop 60 on the Falcons.
Falcons, Packers. The question becomes, do the Falcons take a lead and blow it again? Do they even get a chance to do that?
I don't care how it could be a 3-point lead, they'll still blow it. I don't care as long as they do
They could go the route of a lot of teams and score first, and then like just get shut out the rest of the game. Like they'll score in the opening drive, and then the Packers will just score 42 straight.
Did you not hear me, Alex?
What?
It's like Auburn and Athens.
Oh yeah. That's true. I was gonna reference that, but I don't want to.
Article.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Ew.
I mean, if the Falcons get a big lead over the Packers and lose again, how do you not fire Dan Quinn?
They've done it 3 times before.
That's what I'm saying. If it happens a 4th time, there's got to be a cutoff,
Well, they've also not fired him 3 times, so I don't see how a 4th is that.
I feel like the first one you can kind of blame on Kyle Shanahan now.
Well,
that was in the Super Bowl.
I'll say this: I got an update this morning.
Oh.
Let's see. U.S. jobless claims reach 837,000 as layoffs remain high nearly 7 months after the virus struck the economy, according to the AP News. And it hurts me that Dan Quinn is not one of those people. So, yeah. There's no reason he should have a job if this happens again. There's no reason. Unless the Falcons want that first pick, which it makes perfect sense to keep him because you're going to lose every game, right?
But what do you use that first pick? Because Matty Ice has a few more years in him.
Who would you use for first pick? I mean, I feel like if you're the Falcons, how old is Matt Ryan? He's old.
He's in his 30s.
I mean, I don't think it's crazy if the Falcons were like, yeah, let's take Trevor Lawrence first. You don't pass up on that. When you have a quarterback that's 10 plus years into his,
Matt Ryan is 35 years old. Wow.
He's not young. I don't think it's crazy the Falcons were like, yeah, let's take Trevor Lawrence. That's not a bad investment.
But
If Trevor Lawrence sat there for a year and learned from Matt Ryan,
the reason I don't want them to do that necessarily is because this team is.
You want them, I know.
What?
I say you want Washington to get Trevor Lawrence. I know that.
No, not actually. I mean okay. I mean I do, but that's not my reason.
That's what I thought.
He wants Dwayne Haskins.
What I'm saying is that the Falcons feel like a team that they're not, one good quarterback away. They're, a decent head coach that knows how to manage the clock.
Still, you get a first round pick, you don't pass up on Trevor Lawrence unless you got a quarterback ready to go. And for the Falcons, while they got a quarterback, I don't know how long he's going to be around. You guys ready to go over to college football? Pick 'em?
I already picked mine, but yeah.
Do it.
All right. College football. It feels like it's kind of a... After last week, you look at all these games, and it's like, man, I don't know if there's any game that like jumps out at me to be like, that's an upset, right? But here we are. As we got 10 games to pick. First one being Baylor versus West Virginia. And a game that we added recently this morning, West Virginia and Baylor, I believe they're neck and neck in spread, and it's a toss up at this point.
I'm going West Virginia.
Baylor.
Jack.
Thinking
He's thinking, Jared.
thinking pretty hard about this one. West Virginia.
Boom. No news.
I'll go Baylor because I picked West Virginia last time to let me down, so I don't trust them no more. Kentucky, Ole Miss. And some news for Kentucky: Joey Gatewood is eligible to play for Kentucky now, so there's that. But Kentucky has to go on the road to play Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss crew that, even though they lost, they still look pretty good, at least offensively. Can that Kentucky offense keep up with Ole Miss? We'll find out. Who you got in this SEC matchup?
I got Ole Miss.
I think you have to take Ole Miss in this one. It's hard. From what I saw out of Kentucky last week, that passing attack is hard to stop.
Alex?
Okay, I'm sorry. I just lost it. What game?
Kentucky, Ole Miss.
You need to get fun of me for this stuff.
What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
He said nothing. He said
Say it
nothing.
again, Davis.
I didn't say anything.
He said that you make fun of him for doing that, for just going airheaded.
That's true, I do. Sorry.
Davis, be fair to him, okay? The warden hasn't let him out for his playtime yet, okay?
Oh, my.
He's a little bit delirious. Yeah.
Sorry. I'll take Kentucky. I think, the Auburn game last week.
He actually is delirious. He picked Kentucky. Did you hear that?
He made a lot of mistakes during that game, and I'll pick Kentucky.
Here's what should be a fun, high-scoring one. I loved it when I put it on to pick 'em. Texas Tech and Kansas State. Kansas State, a miraculous win against Oklahoma. For Texas Tech, they had a shootout with Texas that they ended up losing. But this one should be a classic. This is a big noon kickoff. This is 11 a.m. Central Time. This would be a classic Big 12 matchup.
I'll take Kansas State just because Texas Tech, no matter how good they look in the game prior, they just find ways to not win games. That's like their thing. So, yeah.
I'm going for the Red Raiders. So TT.
Jack?
I think Texas Tech is going to win.
That is true. I mean, what Kansas State did last week is miraculous. Don't get me wrong. But when Texas Tech puts up, 50, 60 points, that's kind of hard to beat. Not going to lie.
We'll see.
I feel like it was more Spencer Rattler playing bad than Kansas State playing otherworldly. So.
Some news coming in from the NFL. I guess Cam Hayward is asking the NFL whether or not this week will count as the Steelers' bye week, as they just want clarity on what's going on with the Steelers Titans situation. Reminder that the Steelers Titans have postponed for this week. They will not be playing this week, and what that means for the NFL schedule, we'll see going forward. Here's the game I'll put on here just so I can just back you guys into a corner. Jacksonville State versus Florida State. I'm pretty much making you pick Florida State, but in the hopes that Jacksonville State makes them look stupid.
I mean, I don't know how good Jacksonville State is this year. And, of course, that's relative because, again, they are an FCS team. But I'll still pick Florida State just because, I mean.
There wasn't many games to pick.
Florida State found a way to beat UL Monroe last season, so I think they can find a way to beat Jacksonville State, if only for a week.
Davis.
I took Florida State.
Florida State. NC State at Pitt. Pitt, 24th ranked, trying to win the ACC. They're trying, but can they get past NC State first?
Why
Yes.
not?
Hit by a million.
Yeah.
NC State sucked, Jared.
Davis.
Wait, what was the team? Sorry.
NC State versus Pitt.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
I took Pitt. I was fixed on fantasy football team.
Like, can you pay attention at least?
I am. I'm just really thinking hard about this.
Alex, have you
I
picked
see
yet?
Pitt.
Yeah, I picked Pitt. I mean,
Okay.
as Jack said, NC State was terrible, and Pitt is a good football team.
Why can't y'all just like follow along and pick your teams as we go through with it?
I did follow along. I picked them. You just weren't listening.
Mm-hmm. North Carolina, number 12, North Carolina, and Boston College.
I'll pick. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
I saw Boston College did not look very good against Duke, Duke did not look very good against Boston College, rather. But Boston College, I think, relies a lot on their passing game, and I think that UNC is going to be able to get a lot of pressure and score a lot of points on BC. So I like North Carolina in this game.
Davis,
I concur with that.
what did he say?
He said that Boston College did not have a good game last week, and UNC can capitalize on that, so he's going to take North Carolina to win this week.
Okay, so you are paying attention.
Not my bad.
25 Memphis. Shut up, cat.
Hey, wait.
25 Memphis versus SMU. What?
I think you skipped me.
Who cares?
Wow.
Who you picking, Alex?
I mean, I was picking UNC, but that was a given.
Number 25 Memphis versus SMU. I'll be taking Memphis, even though it's been a while since they played. I think because I think they had their game canceled as well. But Southern Methodist, I don't think the ponies are back yet. Not like last year.
Memphis has not played in over a month.
Heck yeah. You know what we
So,
call that? We
fair.
call that preparing for your next opponent. Bye weeks.
Does Houston get to play this week?
Nope, they do not. I don't believe they had a game scheduled this week anyway.
Mm.
They're still waiting.
I'll pick Memphis. I think Memphis.
Davis.
Memphis here too.
Okay. Alex, have you picked yet? I haven't been paying attention to you.
I do not believe I have. Wait, this is still the Memphis SMU game.
Yes.
Yes, okay. I think I picked SMU. Which is bold, I know.
You think or do you know?
I can't remember what I put
This
on the
is
thing.
why we should pick
I know, I'm sorry.
as we go along.
I picked the NFL to win along, but this one, I'm sorry, I messed up on this one again. I was very torn because Memphis having a month to prepare, but I'll still pick SMU. Why not?
Oh Lord.
Made
There's kind
him
of an
leave.
Easter egg now for you.
Where'd he go?
Made him leave.
No, Jared, I'm sorry.
Maybe take my vitamins.
Yeah.
Make me so upset.
Such a boomer thing to do.
You don't take your vitamins?
No,
That's why you have glasses.
that's not why I have glasses.
Yes, it is. All right, here we go. Oklahoma versus Iowa State. Number 18, Oklahoma, is going to Ames, Iowa, which has been dubbed as the black hole of college football.
Let's go Sooners.
Yeah, sooner. Oklahoma.
I was gonna say Cyclones, didn't you?
No. Oklahoma.
Jack.
I don't think Oklahoma is going to lose twice, so take Oklahoma.
Mm, I gotta stick with what I know, and I know that if you go into Iowa State, bad things happen. I'll pick the Cyclones. I'll pick the Cyclones. I'm telling you,
Surprised.
when Iowa State, I don't know if you've seen Iowa State's like intro video each year, but every time the team takes the field, they play the cyclone warning siren that you hear, and
That's pretty.
it's dangerous. All right, a cyclone's touching down in Ames, Iowa, and you better watch out because they're coming for you.
I'm
Fun.
surprised you did not whip out the, Ames, Iowa's the black hole of college football line that you say every other week.
Because I just did it 2 minutes ago, Alex. Have you not been paying attention? Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Good Lord.
I have been. I guess I just didn't catch that.
Let me compose myself for a second.
You said tap dancing?
That's not even the full phrase that I haven't used that phrase in a long time. That's not even the full phrase. It's Jesus
not
tap
afraid of
dance.
the full phrase.
It's Jesus tap dancing Christ on a Ritz cracker. I didn't get to the Ritz cracker part.
Why is there a Ritz cracker involved?
It's Jared Dillard. What did you think I was gonna say? It could literally be anything.
Jack is not amused right now by this.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's
I apologize, everybody.
Number 13, Texas A&M. Number 2, Alabama. That game is in Tuscaloosa.
Eesh. Yeah, Bama by 40.
Alabama's going to win by a lot, unfortunately. I don't know why this is the CBS game.
It is?
Do I even need to say anything?
Yes, at least just say the name.
Bama.
It is a CBS game.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I mean, I do wonder why they wouldn't put the Auburn-Georgia game on CBS. That's weird.
I don't know.
I guess they were hoping A&M would be better, and then we just saw them beat Vanderbilt by 5.
But speaking of Auburn, here we go. It is the extra point game of the week. It's how we end the show for today. Number 7, Auburn goes on the road to number 4, Georgia, to cap off Georgia Hate Week, as Jack calls it. Does Auburn go into Athens and get a big win on the road, something they haven't done in quite some time? Or,
This is the last time they scored after the first quarter.
Jesus.
Scored an offensive touchdown after the first quarter.
That's what that was implied when I said that, Alex.
Or do the Bulldogs put down the Tigers before their season even begins? Alex, we will start with you. Give me your pick and a predicted score.
Pick and predicted score. All right. Oh my gosh, this is a tough one because, oh my gosh, because every time Auburn plays in Athens, like they just play so much worse than they should. Like it's not like they play equal to their level that year. You know what I'm trying to say? Like 2014, they scored 7 points. They scored. 50
Oh, believe
on
me,
Bama.
I remembered.
They scored like 40 on Bama the next week. Oh my gosh. I picked Auburn in the pick'em, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to pick Auburn in a 20-13 victory.
Jack, I'll let you go next.
The difference, I think I speak for everyone when I say that this doesn't feel like a top 10 matchup. This feels, of course, every circumstance surrounding the season is crazy, but I think Georgia especially so with the surprise loss of Jamie Newman, whatever the heck happened in Fayetteville last weekend, and what is the future for this Georgia team? Now, Georgia they can go with Stetson Bennett IV, who led them to a big win over Arkansas in the second half, or they can go to JT Daniels, who has not played a snap for the Dogs in a long time due to an ACL injury. So either way, Georgia's kind of keeping their cards close to their hand and playing with a quarterback that is not very experienced. Meanwhile, Auburn is playing with a complete team. Big Cat Bryant is back? Question mark.
He should be.
Should be. So
He's supposed to be.
Auburn's pretty much complete. They have no glaring injuries. They've been playing with this same team for over a year now, and is playing with the same offense since Chad Morris showed up. So I think I'll call for a little history being made, and I think Auburn gets it done between the hedges. My score being 32-16.
Davis, wow, that's actually a very big margin for I feel like an Auburn Georgia game,
Well,
30-16.
30-16.
32-16.
It's a decent margin. Davis,
I'm going to take Auburn 27-24.
all right. Where's my helmet at?
What helmet?
This one.
Helmet, dude.
Oh my!
You didn't remember me wearing this last time?
I do. I briefly forgot about it.
So, Auburn can win this game. They definitely have the talent. But that game last week, they played a really good Kentucky team, and they handled their business. But that first half does give me a little bit of concern about what's going to happen. Yes, Alex.
I mean, Georgia had arguably an even worse first half.
Yes, that's true, but I feel like as we don't compare first half Auburn and second half Auburn in the Kentucky game, it's kind of hard to look at Georgia's second half and be like, yeah, it's the same offense that was on the field in the first half. They were different. They were just built different in the second half, because they literally had different quarterback.
I was about to say that. Yeah, that's a good point.
So if we're going by anything, and yes, they're playing Arkansas, which is bottom tier SEC. When I say bottom tier, I mean they're in the basement. Okay.
They're worse than Vanderbilt.
They're playing the worst team in the SEC, so they were going to look good regardless of who they stuck in there in the second half, other than their quarterback that played like trash. But it's still concerning that not only do I not know who's going to be playing quarterback for Georgia, but also don't know how Auburn's going to react to not only a different quarterback, but they still got to cover Pickens, and they still got to worry about a run game or a dual threat quarterback, or the dink and dunk that Kentucky did very well against Auburn. Kentucky outgained Auburn, and can this Auburn team, who's playing arguably a better defense, can they muster up a nice passing game? Does the rushing game make a bounce back and get over 100 yards? This is a different offense. We got to get used to maybe that we're not going to have 100 yards per game. That it may be on Bo Nix's arm. And are you going to trust him on the road against in Georgia? I trusted Sean White on the road. I've trusted a lot of people against Georgia on the road, and I've yet to find my savior. Is it Bo Nix? Is Bo Nix my savior, Alex?
I will say it may not be so much on the arm of Bo Nix, but I think the key to this game for Auburn to beat Georgia, because now you've convinced me that we don't have as much of a chance as maybe I thought, but I think the key is to get Sean Shivers the football outside the tackles, because let's face facts. The interior of the line is not going to be good at run blocking. They haven't been lately, and without someone like Kerryon Johnson to just, power through it, you're really going to have to get your playmakers out in space. So I think the key is to get Sean Shivers outside the tackles in space, because we've seen what he can do in space. We've seen it done. We even saw it last week where he just broke like 3 or 4 tackles just to get a 15-yard gain. And I think that's something they need to do to establish the running game more. Up the middle, look, run it a couple times, but it doesn't always have to be up the middle. And arguably it shouldn't be, because, again, the interior line is not as strong as it was maybe 2-3 years ago. So you got to adjust to that.
Well, I'll go ahead and make my pick. Davis, me and your scores are actually kind of close. I was going to go 28-24. I feel like that's an Auburn, Georgia kind of score right there. But
I wanted to come down to a field goal.
Yeah. But I'm not going to do it in favor of Auburn. I am going to pick Georgia. And the only Georgia thing I have here in this house is this Georgia license plate that says Go Dogs on it. So, So I'm picking Georgia to win this game because I live in a household that literally has the Cowboys corner and a lot of sports memorabilia. So there's also an Alabama one in there if you want me to go get that and show you on the show. Don't worry, we're having to the Iron Bowl to do that. But go Dogs! I think Georgia's gonna win this game. Not that Auburn's gonna play bad, but I just think it's gonna be one of those games where a couple mistakes here and there is gonna do you in, and I think that may just go down, unfortunately for Auburn. But that does it for the show today. Does anybody have anything else before we end the week?
No.
No, we're all good.
Yeah, I think that's covers about everything for the next week or the next few days.
That covers everything. That does it for the show today. So thank you for joining us here on the Extra Point. In about an hour and 20 minutes, the Braves have their first pitch. So we'll see how the Braves react as we get ready for that. If you want to catch more of the Extra Point, remember you can catch the live premiere television stream on Weagle's YouTube at 4:45 Eastern, 3:45 Central, and also the podcast of today's show will be going live at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, just in time for a lot of things to be happening in sports. So, for Davis Carroll, Jack Hart, and Alex Houston on today's show, I'm Jared Dell saying thank you for joining us the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and WEGLFM.com.